All right, buckle up and grab your notepad. This is an MLB level approach that you can have in the plate, and I'm gonna walk you through every single count that you may encounter at the plate, and I'm gonna tell you what your mentality should be and what your approach should be as you step into the box. So let's start with the even counts, okay? So this is 0-0, this is 1-1, and we'll also lump in with this 0-1 counts and 1-0 counts. If you find yourself in one of these counts, it's fairly even. Now, the reason that it's fairly even is because if the pitcher throws a ball, it's not ball 3 yet. If the pitcher throws a strike, you're not out yet. So these are fairly even counts. No one's really ahead of the other. And so this is where, as a hitter, we have to be ready for really anything, because during these counts, pitchers can throw breaking balls, they can throw heaters. A 1-1 count is a great off-speed count for a pitcher. So this is where we as a hitter need to have a split rhythm where we can hit both a fastball or an off-speed pitch. But the way that we do this is by understanding effective velocity. And if you've never heard of effective velocity, I'm gonna try to make it really simple here. When we're in the box, if we're gonna hit an outside pitch, the ball has to travel longer, okay, to hit at the opposite field. So if that's the case, that means we have a little bit extra time, okay? So a fastball inside, that is, say, 90 miles an hour, okay? If it's a fastball inside, we have to hit it out front, okay, bat path-wise. So that fastball inside, even though it's 90 miles an hour, feels like 92. In the same sense, if the fastball away, right, we have longer time to see it. That fastball away, even though it's 90 miles an hour, might feel like 88 miles an hour because we have slightly more time, okay? So that being said, with a split approach, a lot of times we are trying to let the ball travel a little bit longer, and we're thinking fastball away, okay? The reason that we think this, again, because it slows the ball down, makes it seem like we have a little bit more time. And so if we're sitting fastball away, it's more likely that we're also going to be able to hit the off-speed pitch, because off-speed pitches are slower. If you're sitting fastball in, you know you have to get your hands out early, and that's the issue. If you're thinking early, you're ready, geared up for a 92 mile per hour fastball in, and then they throw you a breaking ball or they throw you an off-speed pitch, you're going to be way early and there's no way to get to it. So as a hitter, a very neutral approach that allows you to hit both the heater and the off-speed pitch is giving up the inner half of the plate to some degree and being ready for that fastball away, because that's what gives you the most adjustability. Now again, this isn't universal. I know some guys who will just sit fastball in even on even counts because they know what they're looking for. And there's even times where I'll find myself doing that. If I know that the pitcher loves to bust in on even counts, then I might be sitting fastball in. So there's obviously nuances to this. However, I recommend during even counts, I recommend a split rhythm, because this is what gives you generally the most adjustability. Now, next, when we're ahead in the count. So I'm talking 2-0, 3-1 counts. These are our damage counts. You are looking for a fastball and you're looking to do damage on it. For me, if it's a 2-0, 3-1 count, I always set my timing to a fastball. If they can throw you a breaking ball for a strike at a 2-0, 3-1 count, good for them. And there's even times too where I'm geared up for a fastball and it's 3-1 and they go for the breaking ball and it hangs and I get all over it anyway. So that being said, during 3-1, 2-0 count, it's important to get on time to the fastball, and you're looking to do damage in these counts, right? These are swings that you take, you know, good max effort swings. Again, max effort may look different for different players. Some players need to think 100%, some players need to think 80%, and that's their best percentage. Whatever your best percentage is, that's what you need to get off. 2-0, 3-1 count, that is your best damage swing. Be selective when you are ahead. Do not go chase and help the pitcher out. So we got the even, we got the ahead. Now let's talk about a 2-strike approach. So I'm talking 0-2, 1-2, 2-2, 3-2. Now this is where for 2-strike, I really recommend you keep in mind that whole effective velocity thing. Now what you'll find a lot of MLB hitters doing is they'll get jammed on 0-2 counts and they'll be okay with it. Good hitters get jammed because to some degree, you have to give up the inner half of the plate with 2 strikes and just fight it off. What you'll see happen a lot of times is when pitchers go inside to big league hitters with 2 strikes, a lot of times they're going to be late and they'll just foul it off, And so as a hitter, you got to protect the outer half of the plate, because that's what's going to give you the most adjustability on the breaking ball. That being said, with 2 strikes, it's important to know the difference between an 0-2 count and a 3-2 count, right? If you're in a 3-2 count, the pitcher's back's against the wall, he cannot walk you. And so that's a situation where you're probably going to get a fastball. Not always. They might go to an off-speed pitch, but especially at the younger levels, like they're going to go for a heater with a 3-2 count, and so you need to be geared up and ready to go. That being said, with an 0-2, 1-2 count, that's where for me, I'm really looking to see the ball up. I don't want to go chase that breaking ball in the dirt. They're trying to get me to chase when it's 0-2, 1-2. They have a pitch to waste. So that's where with 2 strikes, I'm looking to see the ball up, especially when I'm way behind in the count, like 0-2, 1-2. You get me into a count like a full count, and that's where it's like, okay, they're probably not going with the breaking ball. Now I'm looking for a fastball, and I'm just looking to protect the edges. One of the best adjustments that was made over this past season for Cody Bellinger with 2 strikes, his 2-strike approach is like, I'm going to stay middle of the field, and I'm going to try to hit line drives probably between 10 to 15 degree launch angle up to the center of the field right back at the pitcher. That's what gives you the most leeway. And if you're sitting fastball away and that's your timing, because of effective velocity, that gives you the most leeway to a faster pitch and also to a slower pitch. So again, that was a lot, but that is the approach that you're going to see a lot of big league hitters have, and that is the difference between all these different counts, when you're ahead, when you're behind, and when you're at 2 strikes. And that's one more side note on this. Every single hitter is going to be able to adapt and make their own versions of this, but to some degree, this right here is a good structure to build off of, because virtually every single high-level hitter treats these counts in this way because it's the best way to do it. So as always, I'm Coach RAC with Headbanger Sports. Let's grow. We'll see you guys next week.